I'm just setting up to go onto Facebook. Day one, awakening to blessing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day one of the gratitude and appreciation rituals. I'm Jess Shillingford. I'm your host, and we are live in the Projector Success Hub. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day. So I said I would be going live every day at 3 p.m, but I've decided I'm actually a real early bird. So I don't think it matters what time I go on because the majority of you are going to catch this on a replay anyway. And there's Christine. Beautiful. Fantastic. Got my Australian people in the house. If you're from Australia and you're in the group, say, yeah. Okay. So today we are opening with the day one of the gratitude and appreciation rituals. And that ritual that we're opening the 28 days with is called Awakening to Blessings. Those of you who have subscribed to the email list to receive the gratitude rituals playbooks, you will have received that this morning, so it will be in your inbox. If you have not subscribed and you would like the booklet, please subscribe and I will get those to you. So what's the thinking behind Awakening to Blessings? Today's gratitude ritual is very, very simple. I will just bring it up on the screen to show you what we are going to be doing. And then I'll tell you a little bit about it, right? So this is the Awakening to Blessings one. So there are 4 simple steps. 4 steps to appreciation. Step 1, set time aside, get relaxed, drop into your heart space. Get yourself in a really relaxed state of being, because the more you relax, the higher your frequency rises. The more your nervous system gets into a state of parasympathetic, making you open to creative solutions and, you know, just connected to information that's coming through your divine channel. So step number 2, you've got yourself relaxed. You want to list 10 things that you are grateful for. And the way that I like to do it is I don't just list 10 things, because remember, the 4 pillars of conscious creation is my conscious mind. So what is my conscious mind looking in the external world and noticing I am grateful for or I can appreciate, right? So we use our conscious mind. We are also working with the subconscious mind. We are also working with the emotional body. So the emotional body on this particular activity is about tuning into the frequency of pleasure, of appreciation, of mostly pleasure and appreciation. So gratitude is about appreciation. So when you tune into that feeling and you activate that feeling and you calibrate your heart center, that's when you start turning it into alchemy. That's where it starts to become magical, because you're changing your state of being on a physical level, but you're also starting to play with the quantum field. So not just a list of what you are grateful for, why are you grateful for it, and how does it improve your life? How does it create beauty? How does it, you know, have an impact in your life in some way? Because if you do it in that way, you are going to activate and stimulate more of an emotional shift in the state of your being. Step 3, when you have finished your list, read each one aloud or in your head and say the magic words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 3 is a magic number. And even walk around all day like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, look, the bus is on time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, the sun is shining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, get aware, awake, conscious and aware. And number 4, if you want to go to the next level, each day you can add 10 extra things. I mean, that is pushing it a bit, right? However, if you, over the next 28 days, make sure that this is the one ritual that you always do, and the other ones you can play with. But this should be done every day. And whether you want to do it in the morning when you first wake up, because it's a good way to start focusing your subconscious mind for the day, to notice, because when you start your morning with appreciation, you have more things to notice and appreciate, right? And then if you want to look at it from a neuroscientific, neuro cognitive science perspective, or a neuroscience perspective, we can call this the RAS, the reticular activating system. So that just simply means that what you focus your mind on, you begin to notice more of. So whether we want to look at it from a mystical energy or a neuroscientific energy, whatever you do, it doesn't really matter the what or the why. I think just doing it and tuning in and experiencing it is really the main thing. So on the mystical side, when we talk about magic, Aleister Crowley says that every intentional act is a magical act, because when we are intentional and when we are focused and focusing our intention and attention, we become powerful because we are consciously co-creating, because we are aware of what we are doing. Okay, so those are the two sides of the coin, the neuroscience and the mystical. I just want to give a bit of background about why we have to train ourselves if this is not a practice that we're used to doing, or if we're not already able to connect with celebration on a daily basis, right? Have you noticed that if you ask someone to tell you their life story, very few people are going to tell you the highlights of their life. Very few people are going to jump into the great things that they've experienced and happened. Most people will tell you the tragedy or the negative events. And that is because collective consciousness, for some reason, are plugged in to this focus of negativity. All right. So in my opinion, choosing to be grateful, choosing to tap into appreciation, choosing to be optimistic is a very radical act. And there's, when you start to experiment with this, you will find your life will shift. You don't need to be dragged in to the collective shadow frequency of fear and misery and wallowing in it. Okay, there's a time to process, and in the pathway to prosperity, we don't do superficial practices. We do the whole spectrum of becoming a conscious creator, and we do the shadow work. We feel the emotions, we release the energy, we go back to energetic practices that release stored emotions, stored memories, rework and rewire the subconscious mind, because it's a process of wholeness and coming back into unity within yourself. When we are imbalanced, that's when we start to have the physical illness. That's where we start to have negative thought patterns that, that drive our thinking. And so one part of the puzzle is a simple thing of developing a gratitude practice. So think about the news. When people plug into the news, you never really see good news stories. Why is that? You see trauma in the world, tragedy in the world, negative events, terrible things. Go through your timeline. If you haven't curated your Facebook timeline, I guarantee you the majority of the posts coming up are going to be people scaremongering, showing the terrible things, robberies, this happened, blah, blah, blah. So if you are not taking conscious control of what you consume and how you interact with the world, then you are going to be unconsciously sleepwalking through life. This is an opportunity to tune in, tap in, and turn on, as Abraham Hicks would say. So we are in a collective consciousness field and a conditioning field that really focuses on negativity. My last point about that, I mean, I live in England, and England loves to complain. So if you go down the road and you're in a queue, no one will say, wow, I'm so grateful I get a few minutes to just be present and just pause in my very busy day. You'll get someone who'll tap you on the shoulder and just start saying, oh, what annoying queue. It's always a queue. They're lazy. They're really lazy in this shop. And the people bond over misery. I don't like to do that. I like to tune into magic, into joy, into peace, and so, but it was something I had to bring myself out of and choose consciously. I made a decision that I wanted to be optimistic, that I wanted to feel gratitude, and I wanted to change my life. And that is what I did. And over time, you know, it becomes natural, because the more it's repetition. The more you repeat something, the more your neural pathways, you know, I think Christine has a phrase for this, I can't remember it. Maybe you can drop it in the comments, but it's something like pathways that play together, wire together. I can't fire together or wire together or something like that. Ultimately, you have to repeat anything that you want to become an automatic practice. So anything that you want to move out of your short term into your long term subconscious mind, into working memory, you have to repeat. Okay. So we began yesterday, not yesterday, but the first day, with tuning in to really consciously activating a feeling of being in the thing that you desire. This is useful because it directs your decisions and it helps you to take aligned action. We're adding to that and building on that process today by choosing to do this, the 4 steps of appreciation. So the gratitude list is really the process. So awakening to blessings gives you the opportunity in the morning or at night, or even if you want to do it both, you know, before you go to bed, reflect on the day and look at what things am I grateful for? What am I appreciating today? Okay. And if you use the what, why, and how to connect with it in a more deeper way, you're going to activate your feelings there as well. So you're starting to build resonance, and that's something I'll talk about in the later sessions. So I just want to end with one quote that I saw on the internet, and I was going to make a presentation, but you know, you don't need to always make a presentation. I could just pull it up on my phone. And the quote was, "We don't create abundance. Abundance is always present. We create limitations." And I really believe that is true. I believe life is a matter of perception, and perspective. So if you are someone walking around, looking at the beauty, seeing the magic in the situation, turning into gratitude, you're going to be somebody who is able to access and open the receiving channel to the abundance that is already there. If you are someone who is not open to tuning into appreciation, looking around and seeing the beauty, finding things to be grateful for, and looking at all of the things you actually have in your life, if you're somebody who's jumping into scarcity and lack on a frequent level and getting anxious, it's because you're so used to feeling like money's not there, lack is there, scarcity is there, you don't know what's coming from. You've got to get present, and you've got to come back and tune in so that you can begin to become an abundance magnet. So that's it. I would love it if you could share anything that you're grateful for in the group today. Feel free to share, engage, connect, collaborate, create. And I look forward to sharing tomorrow's ritual. And on that note, today, I would like you to find a rock that you can use for tomorrow's ritual. And why we're going to do that, I'll explain in more depth tomorrow, but it's a way that we can anchor into a feeling when we have a physical anchor. Like, so if we're like talismans, you don't need these things, but it's part of the 28 days. So find a rock, could be a crystal, could be something that actually you get drawn to in nature today, and have that ready for tomorrow's session. Right. Have an amazing day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Bye.